Oh, I've got a fluffy cat, it seems. He's very, very fluffy. Just a second. Fluffy cat. Fluffy cat's always getting in the way. So hello everyone, I'm Tim from Tim's PC, and I build custom PCs to suit anyone's needs or budget. Also live stream my builds and repairs for transparency and educational purposes. So if you'd like to get an awesome new PC and you'd like to see it get put together live, send me a message today. Alrighty, so this is just a quick one this morning where we're assembling a used PC. So I got some used graphics cards the other day, and I'm going to be able to put together some cheaper PCs for Christmas for people. So this RTX 3080 rig will be available for sale. So we've got fluffy cat. You're gonna have to chill up here for a while. We have a Gigabyte Gaming OC RTX 3080. This is the 10 gigabyte version of the card. I believe it is a version 1, so not a version 2. We don't have an X670 in here. This is an ASRock Steel Legend Z590 motherboard. And we've got a 10700KF CPU, 16 gigabytes of RAM, built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, and we've got a 500 gigabyte SSD there. So you can quite easily add a hard drive or a secondary SSD to this rig. I'm more than happy to install that for you at request. So we've got our motherboard essentially all prepped there. We've got an extra case fan here to go in. We got a brand new 240mm all-in-one liquid cooler to go in. This will be powered by a brand new 750 watt power supply there. So a pretty decent looking rig, and it's going to be under $2,000. So i7 RTX 3080 liquid cooled 750 watt power supply, under $2,000. I'd be pretty happy with that. Okay. Who's that? That looks like Jeff. On early today, mate, he says. Yeah, I'm on early, because I don't normally do a stream on Friday nights. But it's that time of year, you know, we're really busy this time of year, so I got to keep up with it. And I got to get this used PC assembled, and I may as well do it in front of the camera, right? So yeah, back on tomorrow. We've got Riley coming in soon to do some video editing magic for me, because I just don't have time to really learn to master Adobe myself personally. I don't even have time for gaming, let alone trying to master things like Adobe Premiere and stuff like that to a you know, competent level, because I'm very slow and unproductive when it comes to productivity, because I've never really trained for it. I'm a PC guy, but not an editing guy. So that's why I've enlisted the help of my young friend Riley. Well, he came to me. He hit me up. And I was like, oh yeah, I could definitely use some help. Alright, we don't need that. Don't need that. Possibly need some of that. what have we got here? Okay, it'll be the 1151 screws that we need. We can put our backplate on the motherboard there. So there's no sticky on that, so you just gotta put it down. And even though it's an LGA 1200 socket motherboard, the bag of screws says 1151. And don't stress too much if you've got this cooler and CPU combination, because the 1151 works for the 1200 socket. You get special screws for the 1700 socket, so use them for the Intel 12th and 13th gen chips. But because we've got an 11th gen board, we can use the LGA 1151. Okay, a little bit of thermal compound. Now remember, as I say, with thermal compound, there's no need to really worry about any particular kind of pattern or anything like that. Just put a decent amount on. Once it gets pressed down, it spreads out. You don't need too much though. Like a pea-size amount is about all you need. Don't stress if you go over a little bit. It just means that around the edges of the CPU might be a little bit sticky if you go to take your CPU out. But most people aren't really going to be taking their CPUs out, so happy days. Alrighty, so with our cooler block, we're going to mount that with the hoses up top. Oh. So sort of like that inside the case. And yeah, if you press it down, you can normally get the surface tension to kind of hold the cooler there, at least for a few seconds for you, to get a couple of bolts in place. And once you get a couple of bolts in place, it's a lot easier. And so just FYI, if you're gonna buy this PC, the cooler we're installing is not some cheap and nasty one that's going to die on you. This is a good quality one with a 5-year warranty on the pump. So with these all-in-one liquid coolers, they don't sort of just stop working and start spewing out water all over your PC. What happens is the pump dies, and once the pump dies, well, pretty much game over. And why am I missing one bolt? Here it is, right in front of my face. Alrighty, so it's going to be something like that inside our case. So we want our cables down this end of the cooler. Okay, time for some screws. Let me make the screen a little bit bigger here so I can read the comments. Jeff's like, I don't even know how to use Photoshop. Oh, we got a heap of people. We've got a heap of comments on YouTube there. I can't quite see that, so sorry for not replying. Tim to decorate for Christmas, eh? Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know. I think you could probably find someone better to decorate than me. Like, I'm not too bad. I know how to build a display. But, yeah. Get someone who's more enthused about Christmas. Okay. Just put one cable tie around these, just so the cables don't sag down up the top there. Okay, so I've got an extra Silverstone fan to go with our Silverstone case, and we got a fluffy mow, and the fluffy mow is going to have to come off the case for a bit, mate. You're going to have to. I know you don't want to. I know you're a fluffy cat. But I need to have at it. Alright? Need to have at it. Fluffy Mow's just inspecting my work. He's making sure that everything gets done right. Not that he has any idea. He doesn't know what good looks like. Be a Fluffy Mow, you got no idea. Fluffy Mow. No, see, we ran out of salmon and tuna for him last night, so he had to eat rations. So now he thinks he's hard done by, and he thinks if he can suck up to me nice and early, he'll get food nice and early. But fluffy cats get fed the same time every day. Now, I don't respond to bribes and sucking up. You're after Christine if you want to suck up. With Tim, it's a bit harder to suck up to Tim. He's more impervious to your cat looks. See, I know what it's like for cats on the street. And you do very well, mate. You do very, very well. You have no idea how lucky of a cat you are, really. With your long hair and everything like that, you've actually got some humans here that know how to take care of a fluffy cat. Because you didn't have humans that knew how to take care of you before. Okay, so we've got a full-size RTX board here. So we'll need to add 3 additional offsets. There we go. Alrighty, so we've got a built-in I/O shield there. And so Fluffy Cat, this is the point where you really have to get off the computer because I have to lie it down. And yes, I'm flying solo today, so sorry if you're trying to talk to me and I'm not seeing the comments in real time. I don't have my trusty assistant here. She's still in bed. It's pretty normal for her. She's not a morning person. Absolutely hates mornings. So I thought maybe once she quits smoking, her sleeping patterns might change or something. No, she's still the same. Hates mornings. Full-size RTX board and RTX case. I've got no creative cabling to do. So I'll just put a couple of screws in this, just so I can still move it around, because I do have another fan there for the back. Definitely chuck that on, so it looks nice and complete. And then we'll have 3 fans on the front. 2 fans on the top, 1 on the back. So 3 intake fans and 3 exhaust fans, including the 2 on the radiator, which will exhaust out the top of the case. Bloody hell. Okay, so before we go much further, I want to get our CPU power plugged in, because that can be pretty much the most awkward connector to plug in. Not so much if you don't have a CPU cooler. Okay, that's looking a bit better. And so yeah, we've got room for 2 3.5-inch drives and 2 2.5-inch drives. So if you were thinking of buying this and wanted to know if you could add your other storage devices from your existing computer, absolutely. The 2 hard drives down there, 3.5-inch drives, and 2 2.5-inch hard drives or SSDs up there on that plate. So pretty decent amount of hard drive mounting spots in this case. Okay, so we've got an included inline controller for our fans and our RGB, so we can hook it all up through the cooler if we want. And I think we will, just so we can have it all sync. All the RGB does the same thing. So we can just tuck that excess cable there up behind that lip. Hey man, how you going?
Good.
Riley is here.
Hello everyone.
So, I'm just doing this used PC build here really quickly this morning.
Yeah, RTX 3080, right?
Yes, that's the one. So I've got a couple more as well, but yeah, we'll get onto them. Oh, really?
Yeah, no, Queen Waffles. That's one of her
Oh,
friends.
I haven't responded to anyone on YouTube yet. It's a little hard to do everything when you're trying to build a PC and talk to people in the chat.
They're just saying hello, live stream person. And
Hello, live stream person. Hello.
they're not wrong. Screw the Game Awards. This is real content.
Yeah, that's it. No, this will be a good PC for someone. I would not be unhappy with this for my own rig.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one.
Well, right, me and Riley were looking at some of the parts yesterday, and we saw this one with the 10700KF, and it was like, oh, that's got to go with the 3080.
Mm-hmm.
For sure, for sure. Okay, so we can daisy chain up all of these fans in the RGB.
That reminds me.
Yeah.
Look what I burned!
Hey,
I got the
there you
camera.
go. There we go. Sweet as. And then we can hook our included RGB and fan controller up over there. So that makes it easy to deal with all this stuff. One, oh, two, three, and 4 in our controller there. Alright. And then all that excess cable there, we don't have to do anything too crazy to it. Just put one cable tie around it. Because once the back panel goes on this, all those cables will get pressed down and they will be sort of held in place that way. And then if we have any problems with our RGB fans or anything, we've just got one cable tie to cut out and one cable tie to replace. There's no point making heaps more work for ourselves. To quote one of my colleagues in this industry, he likes to say, "Business up front, party out back." That's the mentality, and you might, if you don't know any better, you might think, oh, that's just being lazy or something like that. But it's not. There's method to the madness. You know, if you're building PCs for people and you're planning on, like, you know, servicing those PCs, you know, most of my customers, especially the ones locally, if they have a problem with something, they're going to come straight back to me and go, hey, can you fix it? One of my fans has died. And then it's me who has to do the extra work. And then if it's a PC that I've shipped off somewhere else in the country, then it's a case of, oh well, then another one of my associates in interstate will have to deal with it. And then it'll be more work for them. I don't want to make more work for them either. Because the thing is, when we refer things to each other when customers have a serious problem, we're of course paying each other for the work. So if my PCs are harder to work on, then I'm going to get charged more. And that would be completely fair, but it would still be me getting charged more.
Jeff Brewer said, "Gotta love the daily PC naughty word."
Yes, yes. Okay, so we don't have an addressable cable for these DC fans here. So I might plug all of these into the motherboard, I reckon. Oh, I've forgotten to plug in our back fan. That won't be good.
That's pretty important.
We sort of need our back fan. People will definitely be complaining if they can't see any light at the back there. Okay, so 1 PWM and 3 DCs. What are we going to do? We got 3 down the bottom? Yes, we do. Yes, yes. Excellent. Alright, everything's coming along down here. We've got one SATA power cable to connect so far. Front panel connectors. Okay, where are we? So yeah, there should be some content all downloaded and ready for you. I remember to download it. I've actually been up since like crack of dawn. That's the thing when you run your own business. You wake up in the morning when you got stuff to do. It's very hard to go, oh, I'm going to go back to bed now. And you're like sitting there like thinking about all the stuff that you've got to do, and it's just like, I just got to get onto that. I could sleep when I'm dead. It's all right. Alrighty, coming along now. So we got everything hooked up. I just got to put a few more screws in the board. Just 2 more. we'll be done. Oh. Okay, very good. So now we just got two other cables to plug in for our graphics card. I will be moving our radiator back a little bit further. Oh, I don't think I can actually go much further back than this, based on where the slots are at the back. Yep, that's okay. That all looks fine. Alright. So we're using slots 2 and 3 here. And the good thing about where the SSD is plugged in is we'll be able to access the other two M2 slots once the graphics card's installed, so it won't be a pain if you want to add more M2 storage to this rig down the track. "38 minutes, that's pretty good to slap this together.
Yeah, it's record time.
Okay. Okay, those pesky cables in place. Alrighty, and just one cable tie just to tie down these loose connectors. Keep everything looking neat. Okay, that is one PC. But let's see if it actually works. It'd be a bit of a shame if it didn't fucking work. No, I didn't just buy these used graphics cards off the street. They've come from another one of my friends in Melbourne. And I don't mean like a friend, I mean more of a business associate. Yeah, the motherboard CPU is just a trade-in from one of my direct customers.
Yay, got power.
Power on. But why is only one of our fans spinning? Is that the controller? That's a little bit strange.
When Waffle says you've been McDoubled.
It's been McDoubled.
Even I don't know what that means.
Okay, so maybe our inline controller is dead.
You have like a ton of spare?
Yeah, I got spare. I got spares.
Can you go grab one?
No, it's all good. I mean, I got spare ports on the motherboard.
Oh, no.
What's going on here? Well, I think I know what's wrong.
What's your theory?
My theory is something's not plugged in properly.
Oh, there we go. It's on.
There we go. Look at that. Look at that.
Problem solved.
That'll do it. Alrighty, so let's share the screen. What have we got on here? We got all of Windows. Oh. At least we don't have to do a full fresh install. It's just doesn't have a signed in account. Alright, let's go through here and get rid of anything that we don't want. gonna uninstall games and other apps that the customer has installed. It's fine, that's fine, it's fine.
GG client.
Not sure. I don't read Chinese simplified, but anyway. Okay, that's fine, that's fine, it's fine, it's fine. It's fine. Mega Sync.
That's a cloud storage service.
Yeah, yep.
Notoriously known for their viruses.
Yeah. You can't ever like completely solve everyone's problems. Everyone will keep downloading things that they shouldn't, and it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Razer, not necessarily going to have Razer stuff, so we'll uninstall that. Yes, don't get butt hurt, Razer. It's not nothing personal. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine. It's fine. Okay, that's all looking good.
You're not rinsing around bloatware?
No, it wasn't too bad. Always get a little bit nervous with all this. So it's got Windows 11 installed here. Yeah, that's all fine. Looks like we're up to date with Windows and driver updates. Okay, so let's clear. Don't think there'll be anything in there. Possibly there. No. So I think this customer's actually taken off everything that he should have. Okay. Alrighty. So
GPU driver.
no, we should be all good, because I think this had an NVIDIA task manager. Yeah, I think this had a it had NVIDIA drivers already installed for 30 series.
I said there was a new one. I saw a notification pop up.
Oh yeah, that's something to check out. Has this customer made a GeForce Experience account? No, they haven't. Yep, that's all good. We'll make sure there's no other updates. No, it doesn't look like it. Very good. Right, well. That's strange. That's alright. I've I've got a standalone NVIDIA driver on my SSD, so I'll just install it from that.
It's just gonna keep popping up.
Yeah, I think so. That's alright. Sweet, sweet, that should all be installed. I don't think there's anything else we need from in here. Office 365's not on there, I'll make sure that's installed. XTU, this is probably a later version. We definitely want XTU because we've got a K-series chip. And so this will allow us to overclock from Windows.
Even then, just unlocking the wattage limit helps as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even with the non-K unit,
Yeah.
that's what I did.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, you can. A lot of people don't know that. If MSI, this is one good thing about MSI, right? MSI motherboards, when you turn them on for the first time, it asks you whether you've got the boxed cooler, an air tower cooler, or a liquid cooler. It asks you those 3 questions, and basically, based on what you respond to, it does various things with the wattage limits. So if you've got a higher capacity cooler on it, it's like, and you got like an i5 11400 or something, it'll just go, yep, sweet, let's just run it at maximum wattage all the time whenever it's using 100%, because it's not going to overheat or anything like that, it'll just be fine.
Driver is done.
We'll give it a reboot, I guess, because it's being a little bit temperamental there.
Also, the front fans are off.
Yeah, I know. I just remembered that this included controller doesn't like being addressable.
Luckily, we have another 50. Successful boot.
Sweet. Alright, let's run some benchmarks on this. Okay, heaven, high, no anti-aliasing. what's going on there. Oh, there's something that's not installed that should be installed. MSI Afterburner.
Oh, yep.
It can cause problems for some people with certain things, so that might be why it's been uninstalled. But because I installed Windows originally on this computer, I would have definitely put this on.
The riveting ritual will hold up.
Okay. So we're going to RTX 3080. Adjust the fan curve so it doesn't get too hot before it's on full speed. And then we'll just set this up quickly. These are just the stats we want to see in our on-screen display. Very easy to set this up. You just got to know what you're doing, I guess. It's like anything with PCs. It's not hard. It's like working on a car. Nothing's overly hard. It's just you've got to know what you're doing. Bit hard to change your oil when you don't know how to take the sump plug out.
That's it.
There we go.
I can do it like this to get some more oil finish.
Yep.
Insane FPS.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. Like honestly, if you get a 3080 right now, it's going to be good for you for the next 5 years. Right?
Yeah, that's what I want.
Like people are like, oh, but should I get 40 series and stuff? And it's like, dude, realistically, the 3080 is going to last you 4 years or 5 years. And while 4080 and 4090 are great, it's just they're just so great, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
They're like more than what you need right now.
That's a knock-off.
What was it?
Yeah, that's knock-off.
Haven't seen this one for a while. The Zigmatech Oh My God case. It's not turning on.
Oh, so probably just a bad house.
Yep.
Hey, the microphone audio is still Wow, definitely. Wow.
Sweet as. Well, that's all looking good. Do I have a antenna for this? We do.
Oh, that's an antenna.
This one's like. Alright, that's running through again. Let's run Valley now. So that's looking pretty good. So obviously with a used graphics card we don't want to see it sort of failing on us while we're running this.
If it does, then well, that's a problem.
Yeah, it is a problem. But no. This has come from my friend who runs Metricom IT down in Melbourne, and he's like exclusively a parts retailer. So he wouldn't have bought these graphics cards if they were like untested and shit. Oh, hang on. Have I just I clicked on the installer again, not the actual app. That's what happens when you're distracted. The icon's the same. So Ultra, Max Anti-Aliasing. Here we go. Some bunny ears for it.
1 FPS.
Yeah, so these would have all been tested. It's not like we've just bought these cards off the street or anything like that. Because I'm always very skeptical on like cheap secondhand graphics cards. I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
what's wrong with it? What's wrong with it? And like the market's flooded with ex-mining cards, and you just don't know what the condition is. Like they can be really, really, really good bargains, right? Like excellent.
Yeah.
But you do have to do your due diligence. You do have to go and test them. I wouldn't be taking anyone's word that the ex-mining cards are completely fine.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd be making sure... What's happened here?
Yeah, lock screen. Did it crash?
As soon as I'm talking about it crashed.
I think so. It's still good here. and then it's just magically. Whoop. Yeah, there was a crash right there.
Something's happened there. As soon as I go to talk about it, we have a problem.
What's the echo back?
So one crash, yeah, get the sound off there.
Fixed it.
Yep.
Just untick the playback. Fixed it.
Yeah. All right.
So what were you saying?
Oh, I was just saying, one crash, not so much a problem. Multiple crashes, then you've got a problem.
Here we go again.
All right, let's try that again. Where's the rest of our stats? What's happened there?
It's fine. We should also try to.
Well, it ran Heaven completely fine, and this is another DirectX 11 benchmark, so... I'd say it's random, or it could be something that'll be addressed with a BIOS update because it's a V1 card.
Like, I rewatched the crash. It wasn't an instant black. It kind of like flickered, screen turned, and then black.
That's fine. Always check your physical connections.
Exactly, yeah.
Do you remember what scene it crashed?
Yeah, it was like a hill and it was like panning down the hill.
Oh, yep.
Oh no, what I see. Not this one.
I mean, I think I was screwing in the Wi-Fi antennas, so I could have knocked something from a motherboard perspective then.
Unlikely, but possible. That was a long freeze.
No, I was hitting a key on the keyboard.
Oh.
Control F12.
This scene, I'm pretty sure it crashed.
Yep.
Seems to be going alright.
Well, hopefully we can write that one off as just an anomaly, which can happen to any graphics card.
Just a one-off.
It's like sometimes in this game, in this PC game, you'll get customers who come along who are like, they have like one blue screen,
Yeah.
and they're like, they turn their computer off and they're like, right, this is a critical event that has occurred. Straight on the phone to Tim. Tim, mate, it's blue screened, it's completely crashed and completely frozen up. Something's wrong with my computer. Can I drop it in for you to have a look at? And it's like, yeah, mate, yeah, no worries. Any of my customers can bring their PC back to me, and I'll I'll tell them what's wrong with it for free. I won't charge them to tell them what's wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, like they'll bring it back to me, and it's like, man, did this just happen once? Yeah, just the once. I got it. I unplugged it and I brought it straight back to you. Sort of like really concerned, and it's like, hang on, no, don't worry about one time. One time could be almost anything. There's a million different reasons why you could get a blue screen or a black screen.
If it was the first one that they experienced, then I would understand.
If it keeps happening, consistent, that's when we got a problem.
If it's like the first thing, if it's the first time that person has ever experienced a blue screen in their own eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would be.
You'd be pretty freaked out, but no, most of these people would have seen blue screens before.
Yeah.
Like they would have owned Windows XP at some stage, a lot of them. And believe me, Windows XP had a few blue screens.
That was the age of the blue
Oh,
screens.
it was. Oh.
Windows 7 was super stable.
Windows 7 is great. Everyone loved Windows 7.
Windows 10.
It was good. It was good.
Windows 11.
I was part of the beta testing group for Windows 10.
Oh, nice.
So I got to experience it at first. I didn't have too much problems, but I wasn't really running any crazy apps or software.
Yeah.
I was just doing normal stuff on my computer. But back when it was being launched, it was like probably 2000, like early 2010s.
Yeah.
And like I was just using it for the internet. A little bit of light gaming and stuff like that, like Red Alert 2 and stuff.
Yeah.
Like nothing crazy or anything like that. And I didn't have too many problems with it. So from the start, so I was always like, yeah, it's pretty good. But I know that there were some problems with it at first, with certain apps and certain applications. And
There's problems with everything.
yeah, that's why there's a beta testing group. And see, what we got was you got upgraded from whatever your Windows 7 key was. You got instantly upgraded to the Windows 10 Pro Edition with a 5 license product key. So whatever your Windows 7 product key was, got converted to Windows 10 and for a 5 PC license. So that was the trade-off. You go into the beta test group, and we'll reward you with basically free copy of Windows 10 Pro and for 5 PCs, so you can do every PC in your house.
Yeah, that's really.
And it was like that's a great deal. I saw it and I was like, yep, I'm signing up for that for sure.
Yeah, it's just like potentially fuck up your computer, get rewarded.
Yeah, it sounds good.
All those people with.
I was just like, the way I saw it at the time was, oh well, Windows 10 is happening, whether we like it or not. So, we may as well get on board with it now.
It's not like you can riot against Windows 10 and prevent it.
No, people like to think that they can resist change like that, but
It's inevitable.
it's inevitable. Windows 11 is inevitable. Like, we're still using 10 on the editing PC there, and that's fine. That's just because of stability.
Yeah, and it's also being supported until 2025, so
Yeah.
Windows 11 should sort itself out by then.
Exactly.
Yeah, just, you don't like change? Wait.
A lot of people just don't like change. They just hate it.
I upgraded to Windows 11 the second I got the chance.
Yeah. There's two. Yeah, there's basically two types of people. I don't want to upgrade, and oh sweet, there's a new version of something. I can't wait to try it.
Yep.
Two different sorts of people, and
whoa, the home button is curved.
yeah. But one thing about my PC with Windows 11 is I've moved the start menu back over to the left because it just does my head in. I can't handle it. I can't handle it. Well, that random black screen there,
That was random, yeah.
but I mean it seems to be running all sweet. So okay, happy days. And got a very old version of hardware monitor on here, but that's okay.
Still works.
I would still consider this a very functional graphics card. Just knowing, just going from experience, when I've got graphics cards that are dead or dying, they don't last very long at all. When you start running gaming benchmarks, they will crash almost immediately if they've got a serious problem. Yes, some problems will only occur after they heat up and stuff like that, but I mean, yeah, it's not. This would have been getting up to temperature and stuff while we're running those benchmarks.
Gotta love it when your graphics card hits boiling temperature.
Yeah.
Crack an egg on it. There's your dinner.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Oh god, that would be like Mr. Homeless. Cook an egg on a gaming PC.
Oh.
He's hilarious.
You could do something. You could do something like that.
Yeah. Water blocking a GT 710.
That is just a waste of time and money.
Content.
Content.
That is the definition of content.
Yeah, yeah. No. We're gonna be water blocking a Asus Tough Gaming RTX 3080 very, very soon. That will be fun. I'm just waiting on the water block. I've got everything else for the build. And Devon is peeling for his new PC. Don't blame him.
You could have a POV camera. What you're doing?
Mm-hmm.
Strap it to your head and call it POV.
Okay.
Damn, that's chugging.
That is a furry donut.
Wow. It's a donut.
So if you're wondering what the hell all this is, if you can see how this is made up of lines, like pieces of fur, well, each of those individual strands of fur is loaded into the graphics card, and it's calculating the position of all of those points while it's making the entire object move down a nice 3D corridor. So basically, this is like Guantanamo Bay for a graphics card, right? It's like pretty much as hard as it can possibly work. It's putting pretty much all the memory to work. It's putting all of the tensor cores to work. Everything in your graphics card is basically working hard out to render this. And it's like running an intensive game. And then we run Cinebench here as well, which is our CPU benchmark. And so if we went into Task Manager and went over to our components.
Oh wow.
What's up?
That's very responsive.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
Task Manager. Yeah, when you're doing this, it will potentially be a little bit sluggish.
It'll chug.
Because we are using all 8 cores and 16 threads 100%. So we got like over here we got the 8 cores and 16 threads. So 16 blue boxes here, and then we got 16 blue boxes here calculating that image. And then we're doing that while we're running a game there in the background. So this is generating a lot of heat for the system. So if it stays nice and cool and calm while we're doing this, which it is, that is looking very, very nice.
That's the good thing with i7 10th gen. They're very good with power efficiency.
Hotspot very hot on the graphics card there.
Maybe a thermal paste application?
Possibly, but I would probably look at maybe undervolting to solve that with your graphics card. Undervolting a graphics card's an excellent way to extend the life of a graphics card.
Yeah.
So maybe, look, if it doesn't sell quickly, I might do a video on underclocking a graphics card and how to do that. Because if you're noticing high temperatures on your memory and hotspot, well, our memory's fine. Look at that.
Yeah.
Memory's perfect. It's just the hotspot. But I mean, the hotspot is where the basically where the VRM is on the graphics card.
Power
So
delivery or
yeah,
Right,
exactly,
okay.
exactly.
So probably thermal pads get need to be changed.
Yeah, potentially, but like I said, I'd rather, instead of pulling it apart, I'd rather try and deal with this by undervolting it, because I think we could keep pretty much the same level of performance and undervolt this a little bit.
Well,
We could also look at a BIOS update for it in case this card's been used for mining and they've got a custom BIOS on it that's
That
tuned
would
for
make
mining.
sense. Yeah,
That would
that would-
also explain
yeah.
the high hotspot there.
That's for another time.
Yes, that is for another day, because we've got to keep moving with today's activities. Alrighty, well, I think I'll move back to full screen and I'll say adios, I think. Alrighty, so thanks for watching this short stream, and I'm not going to be on with another live PC build tonight. Friday night's kind of like my night off. But I'll be back tomorrow. We got more PC builds because obviously coming up to Christmas, we're going to be busy. And so tomorrow night, Saturday night, we've got a couple of young fellas builds. So we intentionally waited for these two that the customers have paid like during the week. I've had their stuff for a little while, but I've held off because the kids are still at school. And if I did the live stream during the week, I don't think Mum would want the kids staying up late, even though it's the last week of school. So we're doing them on Saturday night so the kids can watch. So happy days. So thanks everyone for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you all tomorrow in the next video.